Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle, once and for all, clean slate.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcasts should have a theme song. Podcasts should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it.
You know what?
You're right. We got this.
Hal, it's time for another Clean Slate episode, and I'm very excited about this one.
I am too, and this is going to be a two-parter. This is going to be a cliffhanger, the first one we've ever done. We're going to do half, and then we will return to the other half. When? You'll find out.
Exactly. You don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And our guest is making sinister Mr. Burns hands right now. I know his teeth are chomping.
Those are chattering teeth. Yeah. Chattering teeth. Nervous chattering teeth.
That voice that you may or may not recognize is the voice of our guest today, dear friend of ours. He makes every movie and project he is in cooler. We go way back to our years in university together, and he's newly jumped into the Thrilling Adventure Hour. We are so delighted to have him on multiple podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to David Dastmalchian. How are you, sir?
Hello. Hi, guys. Hey. Oh, sorry. Hey.
There he is.
We go way back. Mark, I feel like that was a very British thing to say. We go back to university. I don't know any American that says, when I was at university, when we were at university,
we went to college together. How does that sound more colloquial?
We got ripped in Lincoln Park together in Chicago.
What was Mark like in college? What was like college Mark?
So sweet. Very I know he's going to disagree with me.
Oh dear.
But I actually found him to be very mature for his age, even though he acted is sometimes wildly. Like, we definitely partied hard. But I always really appreciated Mark and a couple other guys that were in his grade, because they seemed like they weren't caught up in all the bullshit of I don't know, like that. A lot of people, it's totally understandable. It's a new environment. Mm-hmm. You're at a certain age. Your body's still changing. Your brain's still evolving. A lot of people, there's a lot of posturing and weird walls that people build up. And I'm sure, Mark, you had your own walls, but I always liked and appreciated about Mark because he was just really comfortable and just having a good conversation with you, and also very smart. I always appreciated that about Mark. He was he knew his proverbial if you will. He had opinions on things. And, Mark, our buddy Aaron, a couple other guys that were in, because I'm a lot older. He'll make sure and point that out many times. I am many years older.
You were an upperclassman that I literally looked up to, because I was in the orchestra pit as you were playing Captain Hook, was my introduction to DePaul. And I thought, who is this guy? This guy is amazing.
Mark operated the clock swallowing crocodile.
I did. Yeah.
Oh, dream
And
roll.
can I tell you what's in my scrapbook box still? A tooth that fell off of that. I was like, I'm going to keep that little foam tooth. It's going to be from the first show I ever worked on in college. You're licking your teeth like it might have been one of yours.
That was my tooth. Well, it might have been mine. I did lose several teeth, of course, from hard drug use, but not from being in a production of Peter Pan at the Chicago Playworks Children's Theater at the Merle Reskin. But
Captain Hook,
I did
not
lose
Captain
a couple.
Mouth. Just little hooks inside your mouth where teeth should be.
I was at that time of my life, I was Captain Hooked.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, just Hansel and Gretel trail of teeth.
Boy,
that's how you found your way home.
And you have come out the other side on top, my friend.
Yeah.
On top. So we're here. We've just got a very brief time today with you to do a clean slate episode. That is where we have asked our friends that listen to the podcast to give us some topics that they are currently arguing about, debating, wondering what the definitive correct answer is. So that is what we are here to provide, the objective answer to subjective questions.
Oh, I got this.
You got this.
I got this.
Fantastic. Yeah. Perfect. Well, let's get the first topic up right now. This is from KT Geek, my buddy Keith, who is also in the Chicago area. This is, if you meet a vampire, do you, number 1, interview them, number 2, stake them, or number 3, watch them sparkle?
Number 3, you watch them sparkle.
Yeah.
Watch them sparkle.
And that's not a reference to Twilight for those of you who think that's what I'm talking about. We as vampires, we have our own dance, our own music that exists within us. And if you would just stop with all of the fake news, propaganda, fear-mongering, xenophobic BS that the Republicans have been trying to cram down our throats for decades, if not centuries, I assure you we're not that bad. We actually sparkle. And I mean that as the sense of with love, with altruism, with connectivity, with magic.
But you will drink a little blood.
That's okay.
But that's okay. You got to live.
Are you HEMA shaming?
Oh,
No,
really?
I'm supporting. I'm saying, like, there's going to be some blood drinking, but everybody's got to live or unlive, as
right.
whatever their case may be. You got to sustain yourself.
Forever.
Yeah. I like that
Just
you're
keep going.
approaching this from the point of view of a vampire. Because my first thought as a non-vampire when I see this question is interview them because I would like to know more. But if the notion is, look, everybody wants to interview the vampires.
It just gets old, man. It's just like every freaking time I'm at the mall and I walk past a mirror, there's no reflection. All of a sudden people are wanting to chit chat. Can I take a picture with my new baby? Do you mind holding this hat and, making a video? What they don't realize is still these cameras rely upon mirror technology. It doesn't work. Yeah. You're just getting a big blank bunch of nothing. Wake up, people.
Yeah. But it would look cool if you held their baby and then stood in front of that mirror. It would just look like a floating baby.
Oh, yeah.
I do that trick and you think it would work. They send it to grandma and all of a sudden everyone's all up in arms. Everyone's upset. And then bad vampires. Yeah. There it goes. Keeping a bad rap. It's baloney.
Oh, yeah.
Baloney
a
sandwiches.
Possessed my grandchild and made it fly right in front of the Macy's.
Yeah.
And I have video proof.
See,
and it's not
That's
fair.
weird. I was at a Macy's all but of 17 minutes ago doing that trick, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I know.
Did you know that Macy's now has Toys R Us?
I thought Macy's was like, I thought they had an FAO Schwartz in there. They have a Toys R Us now,
too?
They
now have Toys R Us, and they also have, are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Cinnabon.
Come on.
In the Macy's now, they have a Cinnabon.
I now have a new favorite place in New York because the top floor of that Macy's was already my favorite because of Santa's Land.
Yes.
Yeah, now the downstairs is going to be my favorite because of Toys R Us and Cinnabon.
Toys R Us and Cinnabon. Oh. Yeah, it's a special
That's
place.
pretty great.
So this topic, this one is closed. Ask and answer. Just watch them sparkle.
You got your answer. Sparkle.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
So Greg on, frequent contributor Greg on.
Hi, Greg. Hey, Greg.
Greg asks, summer blockbuster in theaters or old favorite on a bedsheet in the backyard or old favorite on a screen in the park?
I don't like the screens in the park, you guys. I always end up sitting next to the people who freaking talk, and they always, there's somebody with a bottle of wine. They're getting louder as the movie's going on. They're just on their phones. It's something about it doesn't work for me. The sound is never that great. I'm unfortunately not one of those people. Here's the thing. The summer blockbuster in a Cineplex is a very magical place for me. It's a really like the dark theater, hot summer day. You got your Coke, you got your popcorn, you got your Reese's Pieces. But in the backyard, and we did this, I projected like Jaws and hung up a big sheet and like floated in my pool. It was like water themed movies. We also did Water World. And I'm going to say it's a nail biter for me on this one, but I know I need to make a decision. And as the judge, jury, and executioner, I say summer blockbuster in the cinema. Kiss my ass. Give me your $18.
Yeah, I do. I love a summer blockbuster in the theater because the crowd seems together and the crowd gets either a hive mind for cheering moments in the movie or debates are going on before the movie during the trailers. Someone will clap and someone else will boo at a particular tentpole movie that might be coming out or just a great trailer.
I don't mind a callback audience. I don't mind a talkative audience. Here's what I mind. I always hate it when there's that one guy in, let's say, the first 10 or 15 minutes, nailed it. He had a shout out and everybody roared with laughter. And now he got greedy.
Yeah.
He needs another fix. He's junky. So then he wastes 20 bad jokes on all of us trying to get to reclaim that original bell that he rung, let it go.
Yeah.
It happened. Move on. But I love seeing a horror film in a packed house. I took my sister, who terrified me as a child, my oldest sister, Holly. She used to just torment and terrify me at night at bedtime. And I was in a film called The Boogeyman, and I invited her to the premiere knowing that she would love getting to go to a Hollywood premiere, but also hoping that it would scare the pants off her. And it did. It was so fun watching her just suffer.
What a long revenge game to play.
Oh, I play the long game. In fact, I've been with Mark. It was 1998 in which I hatched the beginning of a plan to someday appear as a guest on We Got This with Mark.
That's right. That's right.
So if anyone wants to do the math, we're talking 27
years.
Think about the patience.
This has been coming.
Yeah.
This has been coming for 27 years.
That's amazing.
I've been coming for 27 years.
All right, Sting.
Yeah.
I've just been
I also agree. I do agree. I love a movie theater experience as much as I enjoy watching movies at home because I just want to sit in a recliner like Archie
Who
Bunker.
doesn't love that?
But one thing that we're missing as we become more and more digital is a communal experience with strangers, whether it's absolute silence for the first 20 minutes of Saving Private Ryan or everybody losing their crap when Captain America wields Mjolnir. Like everything. I remember all these experiences of seeing a movie with strangers, and we all have this reaction together. That's a really special part of humanity that movies allow us to safely explore with one another. So there you go.
Amen. Brother.
And we also get the chance to get angry together when, say, hypothetically, we're watching 28 years later, and within 90 seconds of the first appearance of Ralph Fiennes, the projector goes out. I got all the way to the third act of that movie, and the projector went out.
I screened Kurosawa's Rashomon at the Los Feliz Theater for the American Cinematheque as like part of their Sunday black and white viewing series. And we got to the very end of the film. The verdict is now we have what's happening, and he's about to walk out of the temple, and the film reel broke.
Oh, wow.
And it was irreparable. And I had about, I don't know, it was a couple hundred people in the audience. And 80% had never seen the film before. It was wild. I was like, but it is, I love the experience, man. I love it. I love sitting in that dark church of the cinema. And I don't care if it's Avengers or if it's, like thinking about contemporary, big, giant. There's not a lot of big dramas in the summer, although Oppenheimer did it and a couple of others will do it. But I love it, man. It's such a beautiful experience. Horror genre stuff and big superhero stuff and big space operas, like, in a giant packed theater. It's so fun.
The most recent one for me with that was Sinners. And everyone had told me, you have to see Sinners in the theater. You have to see it in the theater. And I realized it wasn't that I had to see it in the theater. It was that I had to hear it in the theater. And that's such a huge part of it too.
That movie kicks so much ass. It kicks so much ass. I love that movie so much. It's so good. It's so good. All right. So did we
answered it? It's summer blockbuster. Go to the theater, everybody. Bring movies back to theaters.
Yeah.
Don't F around.
We can finally listen to Nicole Kidman. She's been begging us and thanking us for so long.
Heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
It sure does.
That's right. All right. Wapuchi asks, best Addams Family, TV or film?
Addams Family Values.
Is a great movie.
I think it's, I love John Astin. I love the rest of the cast, the TV show.
Yeah.
I've gone back and watched it with my kids. It's certainly fun. It's a different time. The world in there and the sets are really great, but I think it can get a little, it can get a little slow sometimes, to be quite honest. And I think Addams Family Values is like,
it's great.
It's so good. It's
the cast is, and again, I don't know I know the old cast, I know John Astin, but really the modern casting in that. Christopher Lloyd as Uncle Fester. So fun, so funny. Christina Ricci.
Angelica Houston. Are you joking?
So
Raul Julia.
They made, you know what they did? Amazing. They made Gomez and Morticia sexy. They were funny and cool on the TV show, but they were sexy in the movie.
They were sexy as hell. And I love it. I love that movie so much. It's really an excellent piece of cinema.
Plus in color. And, that helps.
In color, and made it the perfect time for Christina Ricci to play Wednesday.
Yeah.
Who was so like the right actor at the right time. Just such
She's
a good
perfect.
performance.
She's perfect.
Yeah.
I feel like the new TV show is fun, is cool. I think that she does a great job as Wednesday. I think that the parents casting is fun, but I'm still going to say, and I'm grateful for the new Wednesday because it brought a whole new like crop of fans to the world.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to hold up Adam's Family Values.
And best pinball machine. One of the all-time great pinball machines.
It's so good.
The Addams Family.
They had it. I don't know if they still do. They had it at Revenge of. You guys ever been to Revenge of Comics on the East Side? That place is so great. They have an amazing pinball hall.
Do you guys know this, by the way, while we're talking about pinball? One of my favorite little factoids in Chicago. Did you ever play? I mean, they have it everywhere. Medieval Madness. There's a little medieval castle inside the pinball machine that if you get the right, triple, that it'll knock the castle over. Did you know who wrote and starred in that? This was when we were in Chicago. It was the late 90s.
Orson Welles?
Orson Welles. No, it was the late 90s cast of
Harmony Korine.
Second City that got hired as a group to make it.
Oh.
So the voices in that game are Tina Fey, Scott Adsit, and Kevin Dorff, and the rest of that crew. I'm not sure how many of them did it, but I know they were a part of writing and creating it. So anytime you see Medieval Madness, play that pinball machine and listen for those voices. Yeah.
Okay.
That's incredible.
That makes me so happy.
Little sidebar there. All right, but asked and answered. It is the movie Addams Family.
Do you want to travel this summer but don't have the time?
Want to learn all about state mottos and history without summer school?
Or maybe you just love urban legends and Latin?
Well, my friends, there's one podcast that ties it all together and celebrates the American states many call home, E Pluribus Motto.
Every episode, we showcase a different state or commonwealth or district or territory and celebrate its official motto and the absurdity of all its local life.
We'll go across the country with stops at Oregon, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, and so many more. Join us, won't you, to take in the sights and sounds.
New episodes of E Pluribus Motto every other week on Maximum Fun.
What's more action-packed than prestige television?
With more continuity than comic books?
And more reality than reality television?
It's professional wrestling! And to better understand wrestling is the ultimate form of entertainment. You need the Tights and Fights podcast.
This is the perfect wrestling show with a lot of love, a lack of toxic masculinity,
and just the right amount of butts, cats, and spandex.
Listen to Tights and Fights every Saturday on Maximum Fun.
Next up, Leslie T asks.
Hi, Leslie
What's up, Leslie T?
Leslie.
Okay, superhero costumes. We're talking superhero costumes. You know a little something about this? A bespoke onesie, traditional, or the modified civilian clothing look?
Oh, I'm 100% bespoke onesie.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Sorry. I mean, I just keep leading the answers here, but I am very opinionated about this stuff.
I mean, like, look, we waited how many years? 24 years to see Wolverine in the yellow, blue with the actual cowl.
How beautiful was that?
Yeah, it comes from that thing of like, well, these are too ridiculous. They even joke about it in the original X-Men of how, like, what do you want? Colored spandex? As if that's dumb, but we've gotten to a point now where the costume design is just fantastic. And they're like, well, let's do it. Let's lean into it. That's why we love these characters. What they look like is part of it. So
I mean,
like seeing Superman with
forget.
trunks, I'm very excited.
James is the design and the look for this Superman is so good. The movie itself it's brilliant. It's so good. But I remember getting to put on the Polka Dot Man costume and just thinking like, I don't want to see the like blazers with like polka dots sewn onto it or like that. I get what they're saying. It's like unbreakable, you know, like we're going to wear a raincoat and like something, but like, that's fine. It has its place. It's super cool. I think Punisher out the gate had a kick-ass look, although now it's a little troubling considering the world we live in. But I go all the way in. I want full spandex. I loved Firestorm's costume. I loved Red Tornado's costume. I've always loved Batman 100%. Superman. I think that it's limitless. Jesus. Spider-Man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you can't. I mean, how can you not? I have a question for you. Someone who has donned a super suit
Yeah.
And I love that movie, by the way. What of many, I've been a fan of yours for a very long time. I've told you this, I think, maybe when we had lunch.
Tell me
I'll say it
again.
now. Obviously, huge fan. You're brilliant in that movie. How does putting on the costume affect your performance? Because it could have, like, a different director might have put you in a suit.
It's the best. You put it on and you stand in front of the mirror for the first time and you go, there he is.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky. I guess there's the chance that you could work with like a bad costume designer saying that, what? But I put it on and I go, oh my God. When I got to see what I looked like as Abracadabra on The Flash, I was so excited. When I recently played Mr. 3 on the Netflix live action adaptation of One Piece, and I saw what Mr. 3 looked like. Oh man, I crapped a brick. It was so cool. And with Polka Dot Man, that fitting, I no exaggeration. You can ask James Gunn. I cried because he's there. The whole production design team, the costume designer, the guy that helped build it, and the construction team on it, producers, everybody standing there, and they're all getting ready because you're going to go do a camera test in it. And I put it on, and I walked in front of the mirror, and I got very emotional. I never imagined that I would get to wear a superhero suit, let alone one that is like a piece of pop art, nostalgic costume masterpiece. You know? It's so beautiful.
Yeah. And you're really the first one to do it. You know what I mean? There have been lots of Supermen, but this is, you're putting your stamp on this. In that costume.
I didn't think about that. There's never been a guy that's done it before me.
So you're
right.
the first 3D version of it.
I feel that way about that, Mr. 3, Abracadabra. I guess any superheroes or villains I've played have not been preceded by another live action actor, which is nice. Although there are some I would like to take a swing at.
Sure. Oh, who would you like to take a swing at?
I'd like to get a shot at redoing Morbius.
Yeah. That's a good fit.
The living vampire.
Yeah. Talk about good fits.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, who else has a question? Because we answered that.
We got from Bricks and Boosters. We have best.
That was my nickname
Bricks
in high
and
school.
Boosters. Well, because you were a Mason and were very short and had to carry one around for restaurants.
You can think what you want. If that's what you need to tell yourself, Mark.
That's the image I want in my head.
Okay.
Bricks and Boosters asks, we only have 3 choices in this. Best comic sound effect noise. Bam, pow, and snicked. I mean, I have a personal favorite. I don't know if it's the best because it's not as ubiquitous as the other two, but snicked, when you hear or read snicked, you know who that belongs to. And it is one sound. It only is part of one sound effect, and that's it. It's Wolverine's blades coming out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's
no,
nothing
it's a good
else.
one. It makes great sense. What I like as a comic book writer, here I am in my office with many a comic book around me. Bam is good because it's got like a weight to it. Pow, I don't use pow. Although I love pow. And I can't really use snicked because it's so hyper specific. I like something that is specific, but at the same time, it has plural use. So with bam, although you might be edging me over towards your side of the street, Mark. You know what? I'm going to go with snicked because I think what's cool about that is bam and pow, both we'd immediately go Batman. But when we go snicked and you go Superman or you go, Thor, I think you're right. I think it's snicked.
Snicked is, I love snicked. You made a good case for Bam, though the first thing I think of when I think Bam is Emerald Lagasse. But Bam has, like, Pow feels old timey. You know what I mean? Pow feels like Golden Age comics to me.
Well, it's all very like Bam, Pow, Biff, Sock.
Yeah.
They're all the same. You've punched, kicked. It's an impact noise. Snicked is like a preparation for battle. I'm kind of sad Thwip isn't in here because that's the one I think of immediately. Thwip is Spider-Man.
Is great.
Yeah.
Thwip,
I mean, it's such a good one. So for the same reason, I like that hyper specificity.
Yeah. My favorite Spider-Man one was from the animated movie, which was Bagel. Do you remember this? Throws the bagel and just bagel. Yeah.
Bagel.
Yeah.
I think we gave a good answer, though. I think we're all in unison.
It's specific.
Snicked.
Yeah.
Let's get another one.
We have time for one more?
We got time. I like this. This is fun.
From our producer, Ken Plume, in the darkness of his camera being off, asks, Bela Lugosi or Christopher Lee?
Ooh.
Are you ready?
Yeah, please.
This is an important answer for me to give. I love and will always love everything that Bela Lugosi represented about Dracula specifically, but the genre in general, especially his involvement with Universal and then more independent, cinema during the height and the fall of his career. He was such a committed actor. He came from the stage. He delivered a gorgeous Dracula that is so important. And Todd Browning is one of those directors, if I could go back in time, I wish I had the chance to work with, because what he did with Lon Chaney, what he did with Bela Lugosi, what he did with so many other actors is so special. That being said, Christopher Lee is the horror of Dracula, and he will be and reigns currently as my favorite Dracula. I don't think he's the scariest Dracula.
Who do you think's the scariest?
I think Jack Palance delivered the scariest, most abusive, like psychotic with the madness of the rage of how frustrated he is to, like, you get what you think you want and it sucks.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I get from Jack Palance. Christopher Lee has that energy, and he's super terrifying. The Satanic Rites of Dracula, Blood of Dracula, all these films to me are scary. I'm not much for the sexy Dracula. I think Gary Oldman's Dracula is awesome. I love Oldman's, but I would say my favorite is definitely Chris Lee. How about you guys?
I mean, I loved Bela Lugosi's Dracula. It's not as scary because I also know it from Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. So, you get...
But he doesn't wink, wink, nudge, nudge in those films. He plays it pretty straight, and I love that from him. Same with Chaney Jr. His Wolfman. He's real tragic in those films, which is wild because they are ridiculous.
I just saw that Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein for the first time a couple of months ago. I couldn't believe I'd never seen it. But yeah, I was a Bela Lugosi fan as a kid. Christopher Lee's Dracula always scared me. Bela Lugosi's Dracula seemed like a cool movie Dracula.
It was so cool. It's so cool, and it's beautiful, and I love it. It's elegant, and it's scary at times, and it's in a certain time. It's a very special film, a very important film. But
yeah, much more artful of an approach. But those Hammer movies they're terrifying when you're a child.
And I love what Bill Skarsgård did. I love what Klaus Kinski did. There's some phenomenal Draculas over the years. I love like the classic, like very Universal, stylistically though plussed up, like late night horror host versions of Dracula, like in Monster Squad.
Oh, Monster Squad.
Did that count? He's so great.
Yeah. There aren't many bad Draculas out there.
But you know who hasn't gotten to play Dracula yet? I've gotten to try and fight him. I've gotten to get killed by him. But I think this guy needs a shot at saying welcome.
Oh.
Mr. Harker. Yes. In this house, we do not drink wine.
Done. Cast.
Come on.
Look. Oh, come on.
All right. Well, then now we know the best. The question was a binary. It was Bela Lugosi or Christopher Lee. But we know that the best Dracula is going to be our guest from today, David Dastmalchian, who we will come back with very soon for a second round of Clean Slate. You up for it?
I'm so up for it.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today, brother.
Thanks, man. You guys, that was awesome. And I'll see you again very soon.
Hell yeah.
Part 2.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Be good.
Thanks, you guys.
Well, these topics are closed. Not only are there many more topics to discuss, there are many more topics on this list to discuss. So we're going to come back, and David's going to join us again for another round of this particular Clean Slate.
That's right. In the meantime, you can always say hi to us. You can drop topics for future episodes. You can reach us on email at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com. You can go to the social media at WeGotThisPodcast, with the exception of Instagram, where we are at WeGotThisShow. You can go to the Facebook group, but really the place where it's all going down, where we've been drawing a ton of material, is our Discord, which is bit.ly/WGT Discord. Thank you to producer Ken Plume, researcher Kate McManus, graphic designer Uri Kilman, and QA engineer Jen Alba.
And thanks, of course, to our musicians Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman for our score and theme song, respectively. And thanks to you, the people of the world. for giving us a chance to sit down with our friends and discuss these topics and think about cool, fun things like outdoor movies and superhero costumes. And, you know, we couldn't do it without you. We wouldn't do it without you. So to you, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin. And don't worry, everybody. We got this.
We got this.
Maximum Fun,
a worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows
supported
directly
by you.